Happy Tuesday, English 11 Honors. We are back talking about grammar today. Last week, or 2 weeks ago, we had talked about 3 important comma rules, and we're going to talk about rule number 4 today. And this one is sometimes the one that gives people the most trouble, just because you sometimes overanalyze or overthink in the sentence. So we're definitely going to practice today, and then you'll have some other opportunities to practice if you don't do as well on the one today. So the rule is using commas to set off non-essential words, phrases, and clauses. So non-essential would be something that's not necessary for the meaning of the sentence. Okay, so you need to ask yourself, does the phrase or clause change the meaning of the sentence? If it does not, then it is non-essential and it needs commas. So non-essential need commas. Basically, think about putting the commas in as like 2 hooks, and you could pull that part out of the sentence and it would not change the meaning of the sentence. Now, the sentence should be a complete thought as it is, whether you leave it in or not, but we're talking about changing the meaning, and I think you'll see that in the examples that we look at. So, I need to forward my slide. Okay, so she may, for example, wear her school's colors and cheer for the team. And the way I read that sentence, it probably was clear to you that for example is our non-essential phrase in this sentence. We could pull that out and it would just be, she may wear her school's colors and cheer for the team. Okay, so for example is an example of a parenthetical expression that we use in English. Some other ones are like in fact, however, moreover, consequently, therefore. So some of those things can combine 2 sentences together, like or we use them that way, like when you have 2 sentences and you might put a semicolon between the 2 complete ideas, and then you say therefore or however after that, then you're going to put a comma after it. But if just the word appears in the middle of a sentence, like for example in this one, you would put commas on both sides. If it's at the beginning, you would just put one after example, and that goes into rule 5 that we're going to talk about. But in this case, it's in the middle and it's non-essential, a non-essential phrase. Okay, our next one, Jack, carrying the heaviest load, lagged far behind the others. Okay, so Jack is our subject, and Jack lagged far behind the others. And this other piece of carrying the heaviest load is just giving us more information about what Jack is doing. Okay, this is a modifying verbal phrase here that's telling us more information about Jack, but is not necessary to the meaning of the sentence. So we're going to set that off on both sides with commas. Okay, Chinua Achebe, a novelist from Nigeria, has also written a children's book titled The Drum. Okay, especially when we start off a sentence with a proper noun, okay, so we know exactly who we're talking about because it's a specific person. The things that come after that are going to be extra information, non-essential information. So a novelist from Nigeria just tells us more information about him, but is not necessary to the meaning of the sentence, and so we're going to set that off with commas. Okay, Ron Aria's first novel, The Road to Tamazunchale, I don't think I'm saying that right, but I'm trying, was nominated for the National Book Award. Okay, in this one, if the sentence just said Ron Aria's novel, okay, and it didn't give us first, that word is kind of important in this sentence, then we would need to know the title. Okay, but since it says Ron Aria's first novel, that's giving us a specific one, and so the title in this case is extra information. Okay, so that one might be a little different to you, but that's why it's really important to look at what the actual part of the sentence is saying. Since it says it's his first novel, okay, is the one that was nominated for the National Book Award, then we don't necessarily need to know the title. But if it just said Ron Aria's novel, okay, we assume he's written more than one novel, so we wouldn't know which one it was unless we had the title. So that word first is very important for this sentence. Okay, because we have first novel, it makes The Road to Tamazunchale non-essential in this case. Your painting, Andy, is very original. Okay, this is an example of direct address where you're talking to someone in the sentence. Okay, I'm talking to Andy. Your painting, Andy, is very original. So your painting is very original is the heart of the sentence. That's the main independent clause. But I'm speaking to Andy, and when that name is in the middle of the sentence, we're going to put commas on both sides. It could be at the beginning, Andy, comma, your painting is very original. I mean, that would be an introductory phrase, but it's in the middle. It's non-essential. We're going to put commas around it. Okay, but there are some things that are essential for the meaning of the sentence, and these essential phrases and clauses are not set off with commas. So for instance, the juniors who were selected for Boys State and Girls State were named. Okay, so if we looked up here at who were selected for Boys State and Girls State, that would be the clause in question. Do we put commas around it or not? If we take it out, then the sentence says the juniors were named, but not all the juniors were named. Okay, so it's important to the meaning of the sentence for us to know which juniors were named. So we need this clause for the meaning of the sentence. It is essential, so no commas. Does your friend Joshua have a part in the play too? Okay, same kind of thing. We're not just asking about any friend, we're asking about Joshua specifically, so no commas. And then the platypus and spiny anteater are the only mammals that lay eggs. Okay, that lay eggs is the clause that we're in question right here. So do we need a comma? Do we not need a comma? If we get rid of it, like if we would put a comma here, that's saying that it would be non-essential. The sentence would say the platypus and spiny anteater are the only mammals. Well, we hope they're not the only mammals because we are also mammals. And I don't want to be a spiny anteater. So this needs to stay here. It is essential, so no commas. And a trick for you to remember is clauses that start with that, T-H-A-T, are almost always essential. Okay, so remember that as you're doing your practice exercises. Okay, and so you're going to be doing an exercise that is exercise number 4 that's going to go with rule number 4. And if you do not do as well on this one, because I'm looking at your first attempt, then you will have an opportunity to do another one in place of that. So do your best. And also I will be sending you an email today that's going to ask you some questions about some things that are going on for the rest of the week. So please check your email today and do your best on practicing your commas, guys. Email me if you have any questions. Thanks so much.